I don't think rejection, like a blatant rejection of nah, I can't help you or something like that, is as painful as irrelevance. Like when you are marked as you are meaningless, you don't exist in my peer view. Particularly by a person that you thought that you meant something to, or at least they recognized you to some extent. There's nothing that actually shatters a person's self-esteem or self-worth as who are you, man? Uh, the person who spazzed and showed this very well was the guy Max from I Made the Amazing Spider-Man 2, I think. When he was trying to get Spider-Man's acknowledgement of him, like, it's me, Max, you know? And then Spider-Man is like, yes, Max, my friend. And then you could recognize that, no, actually, when I thought I acknowledged by this person, when I thought I was a somebody to this person, I actually was nothing to this person, and then he just lost it, and he became this uh, problem to the whole country. So irrelevance really shatters people, and I'm gonna tell you what to do when you feel irrelevant, because in most likelihood you will, or you have, or you are feeling irrelevant as is right now. And I think it's one of those things that actually stops people from wanting to start new things, because in order for you to start anew, you will have to be irrelevant to some extent for a period of time. That's why the alpha motivations, they usually talk about disappear for 6 months and then come back a different beast, or kinds of things like that. It's because that period of time you're gonna mean nothing to nobody, and from acquiring new skills to appearing with a valuable product or service is going to take you some time. And in that time, you might actually lose the value that you initially had to the people that you were living with or you were with um, prior to you trying to do this new thing. And man, I'm telling you, it, it the response of a human spirit towards being irrelevant is vigorous. Like we don't respond well. Our spirit doesn't respond well to being deemed irrelevant. To some extent, I would have gone into explaining it for using evolutionary psychology, but no, I don't think it's necessary to do that unnecessary depth, because I think all of us we know this. When I was in school, I was never the athletic type. Not after primary, at least. Primary, pretty much everybody thinks that they're athletic. But when I was in high school, particularly, I never thought of myself as athletic, nor did I see myself in any shape or form participating in that. Yet, at the beginning of the year, each and every school starts with Olympics, right? And the smarts, which was where I was, were irrelevant at that time. Like, and it messes up with your head, because towards the end of the year, the smarts are taken seriously. They are taken as the most, because there's nothing else to do at school other than smarty things at the end of the year. Plus, it's very important for you to pass to go to another grade. So, like, the elevation of importance is up there. So you end there at the very peak, and then when you begin at the very low. So I ended up being pulled into wanting to participate in this, watching the matches, going to this stadium, to that stadium, when I know very well that none of those things mattered to me at all. But my response towards being made to feel irrelevant was panic. Was panic, and I tried to fit into all of these things when I didn't necessarily need to do that at all. Towards the end of my schooling career, obviously I adjusted, and I was like, oh, I don't care. I don't really care about these events, and though I will be irrelevant, People will see me with books, going to the library, see me go to a class and all kinds of things like that. And they are busy doing some fun things. They have whistles, they have all kinds of things like that. I will be doing what I know will be more important to me in time. Yeah, and that's exactly the response that we need to have with regards to being made feel irrelevant. Because once you see yourself vanish in value in the eyes of the person or the people that you once believed are valuable to you, or they recognize you as a valuable individual, or just in G as a person who's worthy of human dignity and respect, we try to be we approach that with panic. It becomes messy, and you ironically create a situation where the person actually justifies their uh, devaluing of you because of how you respond to them at that particular time, right? You can also see this with playboys when they try to make you um draw you in, like by not giving you attention, because of that feeling of void, that feeling of I'm not relevant to this person. You want to panic grab at it, but it never works now, does it? It never does, and they never do change. They always try to use the same thing on you over and over again. You never. It's always a moving target. But what it should do with irrelevance is because once you see yourself feign in value in front of a person, they have already concluded. Like, you trying to convince them is not gonna work. Dr. Arian Taliban says you cannot make a person to want you by wanting them more. People want who they want or want what they want, irrespective of how much you want them to want you, you know? So once they have decided that you are not relevant to them, it's time for you to pull back, and they have just given you space now for you to work the best you can. And there's no losing in their eyes, because you already lost. Like, you already add zero to them. So whatever you're gonna do, it is meaningless to them. And you should not care about it, because whatever you do, they are always gonna think that you are at the bottom of the ladder. But the best thing now you can do is to actually create escape channels for yourself. It's like you working in the dark, in the shadows, in a way where there's no disturbance. First of all, there will be no disturbance, because everyone will be like trying to do their own thing away from you, since you are irrelevant. And so that gives you an open space of how much you can work with now. There will be no noise, there will be no disturbances, and now you can work freely as much as you can, fail as much as you can, and your failures now are not going to actually feel so devastating like you are failing in front of a crowd. Now you will be failing alone, and though you might not be alone physically, but know that these people are not even paying attention to me at all, so it doesn't really matter who's here with me. I'm nothing to them. So when you fail, they are probably not gonna even see what just happened. You're gonna fail, adjust, fail, adjust, fail, adjust. By the time they come back, you most probably are like 1,000 miles away from their steps, and now it's by your discretion with whom you want to associate. When the athletics ended, they usually take the whole entire term, the first term, right? When they end, and then immediately after that is close to exams. Now everyone tries to scramble. They try to come back to me now, who's already in full form for these exams. I have no business dealing with these people at all. I go to the house, I'll be relaxing, I'll be doing my own things, and then they scramble to get to the exam. Okay, the first exam, and no one really cares about the report of the first term. It's fine. It comes out. I'm at the top of the league, but it's like whatever. But then the thing is, I have already opened space for me to actually restart doing work of the second term, third term, and all kinds of things like that, while they are yet to start to recover from this time spent on Olympics and then get into the first term, and then, you know, the same thing will be applying now in life. By the time people start recognizing you after they have shunned a irrelevance tag on you, by the time they recognize you back, you'll have already moved 1,000, 10,000 steps away from them. And now you will be the one who gets to decide who's who around you. There are people that I grew up with that we were close friends. When they started doing their own things that they thought I was irrelevant in, I moved off and started working on things that I thought they were gonna make me a better person, make me elevated, make me go in the direction in which I want. When I committed to those things, I started also having alliances in that direction. By the time I came out on the other side and I had public accolades, because you can already see your progress before people can recognize your public, can recognize you. You know where you're at. By the time I'm recognized in public that, oh, Lucky is this, the people that had that had labeled you irrelevant by that time and labeled me irrelevant by that time, they would want to come back now as an open invite to, hey, you know what, like, yeah, you can come back. I'm like, no, too big now for me to even fit that small gate of yours you just opened for me. It doesn't matter to me now. So I now start having that other association that I do have with other people that I feel like now they are relevant to me. And you leave these people as they are, and they never recovered. Those people now, me and them, we really just are XXC, know each other by name. By deeds, by levels, no, we don't know each other at all. So the beauty of being irrelevant, well, it is gonna hurt at first. Do not panic. Regulate your response. Do not panic. Take that time, because these people are not gonna change their minds by you trying to cling to them. Take that time as an offset of noise, right? An opportunity for you to create new alliances, and the best time for you to actually experiment, try to work as much as you can possibly do with a new direction, with a new vision. Because if you do waste your time trying to convince these people, you're gonna waste your time. You're gonna waste your time, and you're gonna waste the precious time you should be investing in doing something that is valuable. In which, if you don't succeed in it by trying to cling on them, then your value goes to the negative. Now you're gonna be disgusting to these people. Like, why does he call me? Like, what's the issue? Leave me alone. That's how you're gonna feel like to them. So invest that time. That's what you should do with your relevance. Recognize that you have now an open space, no noise. Accept of the fact that you are at level 0 to the eyes of these people. Whatever you do, it's not gonna work. Invest that time to actually win, because that's the only left thing to do now. You winning will be the only victory you have against that feeling of irrelevance. Otherwise, you're gonna be depressed for a long time trying to impress people or trying to get into circles that states to you clearly that you don't belong. As always the case, God gave you permission to be here. Make it good, make it better.